Hey Siri, what's the date today?
It's Monday, the 3rd of July, 2023.
Why, thank you. I am by nature one of the biggest procrastinators of all time. So I did the unthinkable. I set a goal. I have set myself a goal to achieve 100 videos in 180 days. That's like one video every 1.8 days, or 3.8 videos a week, or 17 videos a month. You get the drift. Now, the video can be a conversation with an expert or an influencer, one like this, or a short check this out kind of video. Included in the 180 days, I still have to speak at conferences, conduct training sessions, do some Zooms, shave, and more. Okay, forget the shaving. I'll just turn that into a goal. No shaving for 180 days. On top of that, I have one of the highest priorities. I was asked to complete an online course on de escalation strategies with a minimum of 15 5-minute lectures. I asked the business, how long should it take for me to complete the course? They responded with 45 days. Wow, I thought to self. Self, that is wow. So for the record, I began the first video lecture on the 19th of June and completed 17 lectures on Friday the 30th of June. 11 days. Yes, 11 days. And yesterday I received the approval. The question is, how did the world record holder in procrastination get so focused? There are three laws that I want to talk to you about in this episode, and they are student syndrome, Parkinson's law, and shrug point. All of these concepts are related to time management and productivity, but they describe different phenomena. The term student syndrome refers to the tendency to procrastinate or delay work until the last possible moment, often waiting until the deadline is approaching. It is called student syndrome because students are commonly associated with this behavior, waiting until the night before an assignment is due to start working on it. This behavior is often attributed to factors such as poor time management, lack of motivation, or a belief that they work best under pressure. That's me. The result of student syndrome is often increased stress and decreased quality of work due to a rush to meet the deadlines. Then there is Parkinson's law. Have you ever wondered why seemingly simple tech companies have tens of thousands of employees? YouTube, Google, Twitter. Sometimes it's because they have huge sales forces or tech support, but often it's also due to Parkinson's law. Now, Elon Musk fired 6,500 employees at Twitter. I'm told that Twitter now has 2 designers, 6 iOS developers, 20 web developers, around 1,400 sales and operations people. So how is it possible that Twitter is still functioning? Well, that is Parkinson's law. It is like lighter fluid to a bureaucracy. It's a business tapeworm that slowly eats away at companies, making them less and less efficient and innovative over time. Parkinson's law is the idea that the work will generally expand to the amount of time, budget, and number of people allocated to do it. And no matter how many people you allocate to it, those people will feel busy. They feel busy because due to the excess time or slack in the system, they'll start focusing on less and less important tasks. Here's how it manifests on an individual level. Let's just say that you have a report to do in a week. The report might only take you around 5 hours to finish it if you really focus and work efficiently. However, because you know that you have a week to complete it, you might find yourself spending a lot more time on it than you need to. You'll be prone to distractions, take longer breaks, or perhaps decide to add that little extra detail, the table, the graph, and so forth. Essentially, the task becomes more complex and time consuming purely because you have more time in which to do it. And here's how it manifests across organizations. Imagine a big tech company, a social media company with various departments, and each department has tasks that it must complete to contribute to the overall productivity of the company. Now, suppose each department is given a budget and a set amount of time to complete its tasks for the year. Now, according to Parkinson's law, Each department will use its entire budget and the entire allotted time, even if the tasks could have been completed more efficiently. This is because as resources and time increase, departments tend to become more complex and less efficient. For example, a department might add more steps to its procedures, requiring more approvals and creating more paperwork, which slows down the process. Or it might use the full budget on additional personnel or equipment that doesn't necessarily improve productivity. The department might also use the full budget to justify the same or larger budget for the next year, since budgets in many organizations are often determined based on the previous year's spending. Does that sound like an organization that you're familiar with? This is a phenomenon known as budget padding or spend it or lose it mentality. Inefficiencies can also develop in staff allocation. I mean, if a department expands, it might add managerial positions that aren't strictly necessary. More employees are hired to manage, creating layers of bureaucracy that may not contribute to productivity and can even slow decision making. I have seen this occur over and over again in my career. The larger the team, the larger the budget, the longer the timeline, the less gets accomplished. I'm very curious to see how many more tech companies and companies like the one that you may be in come to this realization. So often, good times plus revenue growth equals Parkinson's law. Now, more than 5 decades ago, after Parkinson penned his law, we can still see it in action. But these days, in reverse, with staffs shrinking rather than expanding, executives cut staffing and the work still gets done and gets done in the time available for its completion. Employees complain, but then again, employees have always complained. But here's the relevant issues. Where does it end? I suppose the reverse law would go something like work is compressed till employees reach the shrug point. The shrug point would be where employees are so exhausted that they no longer care about new directives, saying, you can up the quota or change the deadline, but it doesn't matter. We're doing all we can. If you don't like it, you can fire me, but that will only slow things down more, and the manager knows it's true. While all these concepts relate to time management and productivity, student syndrome focuses on procrastination and delaying work until the last moment. Parkinson's law emphasizes the tendency for work to expand to fit the time allocated for it, and shrug point is where an employee says, yeah, nah, whatever. Just to finish off, I think I work more towards the 80-20 principle, the Pareto principle, where 80% of the videos that I produce take up 20% of my time. I'm so confused. I don't know whether I'm effective, efficient, a procrastinator, a time waster, or focused. Oh, look over there. There's a squirrel. I must go.